This camera picks up every single thing. All right, well, this is my station. Yes, that is my switch over there. More important than almost anything here. I need to clean that mirror, my God. And then more of my stuff. You know what's funny is that I use like 3 things and yet it looks like this. Go figure. That's great. Okay. We are gonna get ready and chit chat about how things are going. How are things going, you ask? Things are fine-ish. I'm just processing, I guess. So this is just a toner. I don't wash my face in the morning. I just throw some cold water on it and then use a toner to kind of clean off anything remaining. I was cleaning morning and night and I was still getting tons of breakouts all along my chin, which I'm not used to. I've never had before in my life. It's only really been happening the last few years. And something I saw online from actually a few dermatologists is that I might be cleansing too much, stripping the skin, and then like irritating it, causing breakouts. So the recommendation is in the morning, just water. And I don't have particularly oily skin, so it's not a big issue for me. If anything, it's a little bit more on the dry side, but I would say it's probably normal. I gotta get my hair out of my way. I'm so sorry. Okay. So I have here the Kiehl's Calendula extract toner. It is non-alcohol and it actually has, I don't know if you can see in the bottom, calendula petals. It's to calm the skin, take away redness, irritation. Again, I don't typically have that as an issue, but my skin is very reactive. So like if I have like a fidgeting or I have like a little bit of an itch and I'll scratch my skin, it'll be red for 20 minutes. It'll be like it looks like I got burned and then it goes away. So sorry if my hair is not tight, it's still not okay. This is about my get ready with me routine, not about the fact that I can't do a French twist. Okay, so I'm toned. Now I'm going to be using, this is new to me. This is the CosRx Snail Mucin. I was looking for something to help calm all of this down and add a little bit of extra moisture. And I saw some really great stuff online about this. I don't know if you can see, I don't usually do 2 pumps, but like that slimy, it's legit slime. This whole thing was like 15. I think it might normally be 19 or something, but I got it on Prime Day. So anyway, let's see. Anyway, oh, got it on my mouth. So I did get the job and I'm actually really enjoying it. It is fully remote, 20 to 25 hours a week. And I am currently in training. And it is with not even doing taxes per se, because the way the American health system works is that it doesn't. You're kind of screwed unless you have employer covered health insurance or you're mega rich. But thanks to the ACA Act, it was for a while required that you have health insurance. And so they set up the marketplace to let you buy cheap, affordable private insurance. That's what ACA stands for. It's the Affordable Care Act. And where was I going with this? So during the Trump administration, I believe, they removed the penalty for not having insurance, but you still get the opportunity to get insurance at a subsidized rate, which is still wicked expensive, I come to find out after quitting my job. So I don't have health insurance, but other people do, and that needs to be reported. So all right, this is adorable. This is Iceland Hydrating Eye Stick. Look at that little guy. He's just a little guy. So cute. It's supposed to like depuff and help with the dark circles. To be fair, nothing in my life is ever going to help with these dark circles. I think it's a combination of very thin skin, very translucent skin, and like just the eye shape and like hollowing. I think it's like a shadowing, which you can't do anything about that other than just use cover up. So, but it feels very cold. It's very calming. Dude, sorry, my cat is using my recording wall as a scratching post. It's got hyaluronic acid and other stuff and some other stuff to keep it nice and cold and pull in moisture, which is great. Also, I ran out of eye cream. I forget what I was using, but I ran out of eye cream a while ago, and everything's just so expensive when you don't have a job. So this was on sale at Amazon for, again, I think it was like $12 or something, and it feels really good. So anyway, employers are required by the government to report that they offer health insurance or don't, and who they offer to and for how long that person has it. Like if you work from January to December and you're full-time, you legally should be provided health insurance for companies over 50 employees. So we help companies report that to the government because there's no money involved. Like you're not reporting any kind of income or taxable income. The employers aren't reporting any kind of taxable income or tax breaks or anything like that. It's just, did they have health insurance or not? So I'm in training. I'm actually quite liking it. I set my own schedule. It's between 9 and 5, Monday through Friday, whenever I want. And I could do, you know, like all of it up front. And then as I get trained, I might even have more flexibility. I'm guessing. I'm not going to try to push it, but I'm guessing like I could do 2 10-hour days and get in the 20 hours if I wanted to, even though that would be outside the 9 to 5, as long as I'm available for like the client stuff and like getting my work done. I don't particularly like that idea, but the whole reason I'm doing this is so that I'm home and I have all that extra time when I'm done to do my voiceover. I don't know if this is actually in frame, so I may be pointing at nothing, but before what I was doing is I was doing DoorDash from 11 to 2, and then from 5:45 to 10, 11 o'clock at night. Well, before 11, honestly, I'm not a morning person. I don't get up well. I don't function for a few hours after I get up. And I've been trying to do yoga, so if anything, I would get up and work out. Like, I have no ability, and your voice isn't warm, but like right now, my voice is you're probably hearing a lot of vocal fry, that a horrible Kardashian sound. My voice isn't warmed up. I haven't been doing anything. I've been talking. It takes a while for you to get to the point where your voice is nice and warm and it's, you know, smooth and it's going to be your voice. So I can't get up and record at 7 in the morning. So the only times I could record would be between 2 and like 5. Well, it's 3 hours. Great. But I got to go through all the auditions, decide what I want to pick. I have a completely unique organization system that I like have to do in order for me to like be able to keep track of stuff. It's not a quick process. And if you're just, you know, reading into a microphone and sending it off, you're not doing your job. You're not going to book work that way, probably. But also you're not doing yourself any favor as a voice actor, because you're not taking it seriously. You're not practicing. You're not honing your craft, even just in auditions for stupid stuff. So yada, yada, yada. I think this job is going to work out really good, which is also good because I busted up my right knee. It's been messed up since my first week of doing DoorDash, and it's never gotten better, but it's significantly worse. I'm going to the chiropractor today, and I'm hoping he can help me figure out what the heck is going on with it, because it's even worse than the last time I saw him. And he had told me that I had something called a Baker's cyst, where in the knee, the synovial fluid was like draining out from where it should have been just into like a pocket, which can happen from knee trauma and stuff, which I had jacked up my knee from doing DoorDash. And so he gave me a suggestion on how to do it. It's not serious. It's super common apparently, and eventually it goes back to normal. Mine got worse, but I also kept doing DoorDash, so that could very well be like it could be just like a tendonitis in the knee. It could be both at this point, and I need to just stop doing DoorDash and let my body heal. I don't know. We'll see. But at least now I have this job that can help, and then I can focus more on my voice acting, which is the whole goal. The whole goal is not to do DoorDash the rest of my life. It's to facilitate my voice acting, and it's now just getting in the way of my voice acting. So anyway, okay, next. I have my snail goo on my face. Now I'm going to be doing my Kiehl's Power Strength Line Reducing Concentrate. Basically, it's a vitamin C serum. It has 12.5% vitamin C and hyaluronic acid. I was trying to figure out what kind of vitamin C it has because I've been watching tons and tons and tons of dermatology stuff on YouTube. As I'm getting older, well, I'm not getting any younger. As I'm getting older, my skin, I'm seeing changes, and I'm trying to be preventative and keep up on it. But I've been using this for years, and I don't remember why. But I just use one pump. I started using it because vitamin C also brightens and is supposed to help with dark spots. And I'm pale, clearly. I have a lot of freckles, but I have a lot of skin damage because even though I religiously wear sunscreen while vacationing as a kid, beach, pool, outside, anything, because I would burn so easily, I still have quite a bit of sun damage from the stuff not being waterproof enough, washing off in wave pools, not reapplying frequently enough, probably going in the water too quickly after, application. So I have sun damage, and the vitamin C is supposed to help brighten and even stuff out. I think I should be using maybe niacinamide for taking the color out of the sun damage, but I don't know. Plus my skin freaks out anytime I use something new. So, okay, so this is soaking in. It's a little tacky on top of the snail mucin, but I did a bunch of snail mucin, so I don't usually use this, and I should probably wash it. But just to try to get this product in so it's not light pilling. You're gonna see one of my more complicated skin routines. Usually I slap everything on in short order and it's done. I don't usually talk to the camera while I do it, so this is all new. Okay. So yeah, got the job. I'm enjoying it. I've not worked out in a week, I think, simply because my knee is killing me. So I'm trying to give it all a break. I have been reading though. So, all right, so next, what are we doing? Kiehl's Calendula Water Cream. This is my holy grail. I've been using this for years. I'm almost out. I think you can see. I love their whole Calendula line. Calendula. I like saying calendula, but I keep getting corrected that it's Calendula. I love this entire product line because it's super, super moisturizing, soaks into the skin, and it smells like, oh God, this is gonna sound so weird. Do you ever walk into a health food store and there's that sandalwood patchouli, weird smell of health supplements? So it smells like honey and that, but in a good way. I actually don't like how health food stores smell generally, but somehow this smells like healthiness for your skin with just a slight bit of sweetness. And I don't actually think there's honey in it, but anyway, it's a water cream, so it's very, very thin, but it is super, super hydrating, especially with all the stuff I'm putting on underneath it. And I love it so much. So I've been reading, I read 84K. I think it stands for 84,000. It is a weird book. It is a book about a dystopian future in, I think, the UK, where the company basically takes over all government. It's late stage capitalism. We're not far from it, probably, where nothing is particularly illegal. You're simply fined for everything. Murder has a fine, and it's all based on like the value that you've cost society. So if you murder a vagrant, you know, you might get a little bit because maybe that person could have been put to work. But they don't have the same value in society as, say, like a company board member. And of course, as things are like today, basically one company runs the entire country, and there are other companies under it, but they're all owned by the same company. It's like how like 5 companies own every single thing in the world. And so this guy is a assessor. That's not the term that they use. I don't remember what they're called, but basically crimes pass through his office, and you know, something lands in front of him, and he looks at it and he decides how much this person needs to be fined. And if you can't pay the fine, the indemnity, you get put to work in what is essentially like penal colonies. Like you're in forced labor, slave labor. And then finally, one case comes across his desk that he simply can't ignore, and he goes on this journey to save somebody. I listened to it on audiobook, obviously, because I don't have 2 brain cells to rub together right now. It was interesting. It's told in like 3 different time perspectives, and from the different perspective of different characters. Not even from the perspectives, it's third person, so it's not their perspective, but it follows different characters that he's met. And it wasn't until like 3/4 of the way through that I realized I had some of the time flashes backwards. As in, I thought this, like you can tell when it flashes because it does this thing where it says time is, and then it stops. Time is, and then it stops. So sentences cut off. It's interesting. This series of events that was happening, this character that he'd met, this time, part of the time sequence, I thought was happening much earlier. But about 3/4 of the way through, I went, oh, I had him out of order. Do I recommend this book? I'm going to probably do a bigger review, but I did finish it. I did find it interesting. I found it sort of, not similar to, but reminiscent of, oh my God, what was that one called? I'll have to look it up, and I'll talk about this in my review. It was a book that I finished, but I did not enjoy. I didn't get it. Other people absolutely loved it. But it was like too deep for me, I guess. But it kind of was sort of, it felt reminiscent of that book. And of course, this is not helping you because I can't even name the book or the author or anything about it. But this one I liked more, 84K, by somebody else. So I don't remember authors' names. I'm so sorry. I don't. I will have it up when I do my review though. So I finished that one. All right, let's see. This is, again, another Amazon purchase. This was one that I saw from like the BuzzFeed, like top 15 products or something. It is the Catrice Under Eye Brightener Instant Awake. Basically, I'm just trying to do something here. This goes on under foundation, or you can just skip, not foundation, concealer. I don't do makeup. I literally only ever do under eye cover up because that's really all I feel like I need. But this supposedly, it's more like a kind of a color corrector, and that way foundation that doesn't cover some of the, you know, super dark weird spots, foundation gets a little bit of help. And then like also, I don't know if you have to deal with this, but like, you know, when I watch stuff about like, how do you find the right concealer for your under eye, or how do you color correct, and they're like, well, first you have to decide what colors you have. It's either purple, red, green, or blue. And I'm like, I have all of that. I have like red here, but then I have like purple everywhere else, and I have like undertones of blue. What am I supposed to use? I'm not using 4 different products on my face. Anyway, that's all I'm using, just like a tiny bit. And I just I just use my finger, I just pat it in. I will say, I have found, don't bring it past here, because if you have any movement of your skin under your eye, if you smile, you know, if you move your face at all, it will settle into lines and stuff, this stuff in particular, even more so to me than foundation, or not foundation, I don't even have foundation, concealer. But if I keep it just right here, it's fine. Okay, so I'm going to just put a little bit more, and I like to bring it up here where it's like, let's get some brightness in there. You don't live in a cave. Oh God, if I could have a cave with electricity running to it, my dream. Except for all the bugs. They gotta go. I'm moving in, they're moving out. All right, I don't know if you can tell any difference. I can tell a difference. What else have I read? I have read, oh, also don't bring it down too far, because like, everybody has texture on their skin, everybody has pores, but like, it, to me, it kind of like maximizes that. So it's like, just keep it on your under eye skin. The next thing I read was, I read an Agatha Christie. I'm in the middle of an Agatha Christie, and it's a Miss Marple. I think it's the second Miss Marple book. I've never read a Miss Marple before. I've read a number of Hercule Poirot, and I love him. He is just a funny little guy. Never read the Miss Marple. I didn't know she was old. I mean, the way that the book describes her, and like the way that the voice actor is like reading her, she sounds like in her 80s. I don't think she's actually in her 80s. I think I missed when they said her age. But she old. I did not know that. I thought this whole time when I was hearing Miss Marple, I was picturing like 30s, maybe 40s. I did not picture an old woman. Although I guess that was probably more the inspiration for Angela Lansbury's Murder, She Wrote, kind of. Which would make sense now that I think about it. You know, if you just think about stuff makes more sense, I guess. Probably. Okay. And it is called Nemesis. And I'm liking it so far. I do genuinely like Agatha Christie's writings. Sometimes I'm just disappointed in like what to me feels like a little bit more simplistic of an overall story and mystery than some of her other stuff, but in general I like her stuff. I'm liking this one so far. I'm trying to, like, the whole thing is she's sent on a mysterious vacation from an old friend who's died and left her this and basically said, listen, if you can solve this puzzle I'm sending you and bring justice, whatever that means, you get 20,000 pounds, which is a crap ton of money back then. And especially when you're in your like 70s or something, like you're good. You're beyond good for the rest of your life. So she basically has to figure out what the mystery is, though. Like, she doesn't even know. She just has to go on this vacation. She's starting to figure out what the mystery is. And then she has to solve it. And then she has to bring to justice whatever that means. Either bring someone to justice for something they've gotten away with, or, you know, free somebody who's wrongly accused. We don't know yet. She's still figuring it out. But I believe in her. I think she can do it. What else? Have I read anything else? I think I have. Oh, I read Mort. Mort with the E in parentheses, where basically ants got real pissed off at humans and decided they're going to take over the world. So they got super strong and super smart, and then they made this chemical to disperse into the air to turn other mammals, specifically, anthropomorphize them into gigantic human-like animals, and then animals are going to take over the world. And so this cat was a house cat who's been declawed, which is just heartbreaking. No cat should ever be declawed. He becomes like one of the top assassins in the entire world, and it's a cat assassin. I don't know. I read that. I will probably continue on with the series, just because it was good. Like, it was well written. Characters were interesting. real depressing. Like, Cat Assassin kind of sounds cute. This book is not cute. This book is very intense. And I started it at a time when I was not ready to mentally process something intense. I was looking for something cute. But I read it anyway because I'm a masochist. This is just an old lip balm that I've had forever and ever. Lip treatment, lip repair by Arbonne. It's a Swedish company? Swiss company? Switzerland? I don't know. Okay. Got my under eyes slightly cleaned up. I am going to go in with foundation today. Why do I keep saying foundation? Concealer. I have two different kinds. My other one's in my purse. It's the... I don't know. It's the one with a sponge on the end and you click it up, and it's Age Rewind by L'Oreal? Revlon? Maybelline. One of them. It's called Age Rewind. And you just sponge it on and pat it. This one I got as a free sample. It's Il Makiage. And it's called F Me I'm Flawless Multi-Use Perfecting Concealer. It's actually a pretty good skin tone match. I'm not going to say I recommend it just because it was a free, like I got like a promotional email and it's like, hey, you can try it for free. If you don't like it, send it back. I did try something else of theirs that I didn't like, and this came with it. And so I just said, hey, I don't like this. I'm going to send this back. And they're like, all right, well, we can't really take makeup back, so you can keep everything. We'll refund you. So the concealer's fine, though. I don't have any issues with the concealer. Okay, what else? Did I read anything else? I've not had too much time to read. I'm still working on my Monte Cristo thesis. It will eventually come out, I swear to God. But, you know, I may be 50 by that time. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Do I have anything, like, interesting other than, like, books? I don't know. I'm not an interesting person, so probably not. I did talk to some of my old work friends. They keep inviting me out for drinks, which I think is super sweet because, you know, usually you don't talk to people you used to work with once you don't work there anymore, but we had a really great relationship and I love them. But my girlfriend from work was telling me that she's moving. So, that was partly why I went out with them, was like kind of a going away party for her. I'm looking for something that I can't find. Oh, she's moving to California, from Michigan, obviously. And she quit her job, and our other friend who was with us, I didn't know any of this before I showed up. He had already quit his job. He'd already put in his 3 weeks, which is too much. I just said, hey, dude, you should have just walked. But he was in a very responsible directorship position and blah, blah, blah. After that, they fired the CIO, and then within 4 or 5 weeks had replaced him, which is extremely quick, meaning to me they had already had this in place. Okay, this is the D'Alba. I'm going to say D'Alba. UV Essence Waterful Tone Up Pink Correcting SPF 50 PA++++, which apparently in Korean skincare, the plus is for like full, it's what we would call full spectrum here in the United States. I love this stuff. I love this stuff. It's got just the tiniest pink hue to it. And I do the 2-finger method to put enough product on. And it looks like a lot at first, but it's sunscreen. It blends in. And I love this because it doesn't have a white cast, which for me, a white cast is not really the end of the world. My skin is one giant white cast, but I like just the tiniest bit of pink that this gives. And plus it's nice and like almost shimmery. Like it gives you a nice dewy glow. Let's put it that way. yeah, so the company that I quit is falling apart and I'm loving every minute of it. And not because I wish anything bad on the company, but I just want them to suffer the consequences of their actions. I mean, you know, they decided that their purpose isn't to serve customers, it's to just serve profits. And that means screwing everybody, including the workers and the customers. And I don't like that. Because our customers are people who very much depend on those services being done properly so they can, you know, I don't know, survive. So anyway, they're getting what's coming to them and it feels very good. Except in the meantime, incompetence keeps getting promoted internally at that company because what else would they do? All right, so this is gonna have to dry again. Like the thing about skincare, I think this is something I didn't realize. There's the whole stereotype of a woman says, "Oh, I'm gonna go get ready. It'll take 5 minutes." The actual doing of the thing takes very little time. But there are so many layers, and you have to like kind of let it dry down, settle in. Because if you just put everything on top of everything else wet, it gets gross and get pilly. So I'm convinced that it's mostly just us waiting for stuff to dry so we can do the next thing. That's annoying. Okay, so I have my sunscreen on. I'm going to do mascara today, which it's going to get totally messed up being on the chiropractor chair, but whatever. But yeah, incompetence keeps getting promoted at the company, which is why I quit, partly. God, there's so many reasons why I quit. But my friend who, when she quit, they freaked out and created a position for her, meeting all of her demands because they were so desperate not to lose anybody else who knew what the heck they were doing and is actually a good employee. So I do kind of wonder, had I put in 2 weeks, would I have been offered an amazing, perfect position? And I kind of think so. And I'm not trying to be like arrogant or egotistical, but I do kind of think so. Because pretty much everybody in the company loved me and knew that I was a good worker. But I'm glad that I didn't, because I know that that would have been very tempting and I just wanted out. I wanted to completely switch careers. And if I was hanging on to, you know, a custom job, it's more golden handcuffs. And I'm just glad I made the decision that I did. I have long eyelashes already. You can kind of tell, but they point straight downward and there's like double layers of them. So they can be really hard to curl properly. And if I don't curl them properly and I put on mascara, they just go back and point downward. So I have to use waterproof mascara. Otherwise, same issue, it doesn't stay. And I have to curl the crap out of them. Otherwise, it doesn't stay. I gotta get my cats to the vet. It's their annual checkup time. But that's gonna be very expensive. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna be able to do that. I should be getting paid, I think today actually. My first paycheck from the new job. So after taxes, I'll finally be able to see like what that looks like, and I can kind of start planning a little bit more directly for stuff. This is not going well. I'm not gonna lie, this is all clumping together. I hate clumpy lashes. Trying to separate them, it's just making them more clumpy. The mascara is too old. I need to open up a new one. But I won't now, because then I'm gonna have 2 completely different eyes and it's gonna look real friggin' weird. Okay. Whatever. I'm looking forward to Renfest this year. I cannot wait. I'm so determined to go. I've not been since COVID started, even though Renfest is an outdoor activity. The first like 2 years, you just didn't know what was going on. There were lockdowns, so the first year didn't even happen. The second year, we still really weren't sure what was going on. I think the vaccine may have just come out, but transmission was still really, really high. And then the third year, they ended up changing the format, so it was a drive-through Renfest. And I really wanted to go, and my parents talked me out of it. And then, my God, I was so glad that they did talk me out of it, because I read horror stories from people who actually went, and they were trapped for hours and hours and hours. Just could not leave. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to drive your car out of line to exit if you wanted to. So I'm really glad I didn't do that. And then last year I wanted to go, but nobody else wanted to go, and it was super, super hot. And I was like, okay, but this is the last year, I'm not going. So even if I have to go by myself this year, I'm going. I checked on it a few weeks ago, and the tickets were not on sale, but they had announced the theme weekend. So the first, I've only ever gone to the opening weekend, which is pet weekend. So they have a bunch of dogs for adoption, and then people can bring their dogs, which people can bring their dogs anyway, but it's like the day that everybody brings their dogs. So if you like dogs, you go on the first day. And it's amazing, and I love it. And then there's also like a theme for humans to be doing. So the pirate weekend this year is the first weekend. So it's dogs and pirates. And I feel like pirate is probably the most accessible theme to dress up as. Because, you know, you kind of just have like a puffy shirt and a belt, and you're a pirate, you're good. If you want to throw on an eye patch, you can. This is the worst my eyelashes have looked in a long time. And of course, it's the one time I decide I'm going to do a get ready with me and just chat. Okay, well, I look like a lunatic. I gotta get a thing. Okay, so I just do the Q-tip and try to clean up all the crazy mascara that gets everywhere. I look like a psycho. Come on, clean up. So, yeah, so Renfest, I'm dying to do it this year. I'll try to post a couple of pictures in the video here of me from past Renfests, because I do like to dress up. Usually the same outfit or the same type of outfit. You know, there's one year I had like kind of like a fairy dress. It wasn't like sparkly or anything, but like the cut of it, and it had like a bunch of very thin skirt layers with different like jagged kind of design, so you could see all the different layers and stuff. And I had my hair up in like a crown braid, or as best as I could do a crown braid, which is not very good. I had like green swirly paint makeup. Again, not very good because I did it all myself. I don't have any pictures from that year. I don't have a single picture from that year, and I think that's crazy because I thought that was really cute. I did get burned. Even though I put on sunscreen, I did not reapply, and so I have this huge burn here on my shoulders because it was like a little tank dress, and then the entire back up my neck. So that was fun. Okay. Last but not least, I do this elf Halo Glow. I just started doing this. This is brand new. This is the past month. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't do makeup, but I like the, I love the glass skin look that so many people do. The Korean, beauty glass skin aesthetic. Love it. Some people might not, but I love it. I love the shimmer and the shine and stuff. To me, it looks well moisturized, it looks hydrated, it looks healthy. I've never liked matte looking makeup, especially matte lips. Ugh, it grosses me out. So I just put highlighter wherever I feel like it. I think you're supposed to do it like where then the light naturally will hit and highlight. I don't know where that is on my face, but yeah. I just watched something yesterday that apparently I'm supposed to, like, if I want to like make my face longer, you're supposed to like put the bronzer long ways, and then the blush long ways, and then the highlight long ways. And if you want to make your face, if you have a long face, you want to make it like shorter, rounder, you do more vertical. I have like a heart shape slash kind of square face, so I don't know which one I'm supposed to do. I always fall like in the middle of stuff. They're like, if you're this, do this. If you're this, do this. And I'm like, okay, I'm like right here. What do I do? And you know what you do? You do whatever the heck you want, whatever makes you feel good. That's what I didn't do. I'm like, why does this look wrong? I did not do my lower lashes. And I think it's weird that I can forget to do my lower lashes. Yeah, I'm getting rid of this stuff. It was not this clumpy the other day when I was doing this. Why is it so bad today? Because I'm recording, clearly. Okay. Oh, all right. Well, if you want to know what I'm using, I'm just about to open the new one. It is the Lash Stiletto Ultimate Length Mascara by Maybelline. I always want to say Revlon. I think it's because the red packaging. It's Maybelline. Waterproof, very black. I don't put anything on my face that's sort of black, that's dark brown. It's dark gothic black or nothing. So I should have done this so you can actually see what it's like, but the formula is much thinner. It goes on very cleanly. It's very, very lengthening. Like you can see kind of how high up my lashes go. Sometimes if I have the right formula on, they'll go all the way up to my brow line. Love this stuff. But this is what it does when it gets old. It's very clumpy, and I don't like my lashes sticking together. I had a friend who would take a pin and literally after she would put on mascara, she would separate every single individual lash. I don't have time for that, or patience, but I do just try to like do a little bit of separation. Okay, this is just a little bit too much. Okay, anyway, that's the look. And then finally, I do like to use a finishing spray, setting spray. I don't have mascara on, or I have mascara on. I don't have eyeshadow on it. I don't have bronzer. I don't have blush on, anything like that. But I do like a setting spray because the foundation and stuff. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. This is getting more complicated. So this is the e.l.f. translucent setting powder. Because when I smile, I have a lot of movement. I was looking for like, how do you get your foundation to stop creasing in your eyes? You take a brush, you put in a translucent powder, get it real powdery, tap it off, and then you just sort of tap and set the foundation. Why do I keep calling it foundation? Gosh, concealer. So this will be kind of matte, but it's supposed to keep the foundation from settling into lines and creases. I think it has helped, which is why I'm doing it. We'll see. I'm not going to do a check-in with you guys later. You're not going to see. Anyway, then I do a setting spray. Just because I don't like I get the eye bleed. Like, I'm already getting it under here from the mascara. But I just do this to try to prevent too much movement. But also, I like this. This is the Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. Usually if it's like makeup setting, I would use the Urban Decay All Nighter. Love that stuff. This stuff's like glue. Your makeup's not moving. Since I'm not really wearing makeup, I'm looking for more of a shimmer finish, and that's what this I'm using this more so for the glow than for any kind of makeup settings. And yes, I do put on way too much, and I don't put it on correctly, and I don't care. Because I'm not using it as a makeup setting. I'm using it as a glowy spray. And then I don't want to walk around with my face wet, so I just sort of try to get it to dry down. And I don't know if you're seeing any of this, but like as the light is hitting my face in the mirror, I can see it's nice and glowy all over. And that's my routine. I like how I forgot like every single step of it as I was doing it. Amazing. My hair, I went to bed with my hair wet last night. It stayed up in the microfiber twist towel way too long, and then was only partly dry by the time I went to sleep. So it looks like this. All right, is there anything else? Is there anything else? I think that's all I've read so far, basically. That's it for my books. I will be doing an actual like book review, wrap up, a little bit more, you know, coherent discussion of those books. But that's it for now. I gotta go. I gotta finish getting dressed and get to my chiropractor appointment to try to figure out what's going on with my knee. And he's working on my neck. He's working on some pinching I'm getting when I tilt my head one way and I get shooting pain down my spine. Excellent. But I'm sure he's going to take care of that. He always does. Because he's the best. But I'm going to see if he can help me figure out my knee, and maybe he's great at recommending specialists if I need one. So I'm also going for that reason. I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for spending some time with me and listening to me just ramble. Please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Drink water. Put on sunscreen. Put on sunscreen. Everybody should be wearing sunscreen. Okay. And I'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay, so I just got finished with my chiropractor appointment. You can see all that work on my mascara, and it's completely a waste because my eyelashes got pushed back down. Anyway, look, he gave me peach chutney, homemade peach chutney from a famous recipe from a famous Detroit family that he knew really well, and she hand wrote it, and it was from her mother or her aunt from 1906. So it's peaches, candied ginger, I don't know, he didn't tell me everything, but it's got peaches, candied ginger, raisin, I think, allspice, clove, cinnamon. I don't even know if I'm gonna like chutney, but I love peaches, and he's just the sweetest person in the world. I love my chiropractor so much. Also, he did work on my knee. He said the ligament above the patella was really, really tight and shortened. So he did work to loosen that up, and I did feel some immediate relief, so I'm really happy about that. But he told me to, like, no kneeling, be careful with bending. I gotta sort of just baby that knee for a little while. So I will be back in a month to see him. And yeah, appointment was fabulous. He is so encouraging, and he's so happy I quit my job, and he congratulates me still, and I just love him so much. So yeah, okay. That's it.